What is up, you guys? This is Will with almost 4,000 NFTs, 99 sets. Our guest today is the top 10 Veve collectors. At all-time high, his vault valuation got up to $1.9 million. He's very smart, humble, and very generous in sharing his knowledge and mistakes. In this interview, we'll talk about the reason why last year he sold all 40 million Omis to go all in on collectibles, the two NFTs that he thinks are extremely undervalued, his painful and expensive mistakes so that we can all avoid, and the reason why he bought over 350 .crypto and .NFT domains, and so much more. I learned a ton from him, and I guarantee you walk away from this interview with so much new knowledge and actionable insight. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and most of all, subscribe now so that you don't miss out on actionable and valuable content that will help you to make better decisions on Veve. Let's get to it. Steven, thank you so much for being here. I noticed you first when you started tweeting about your collectibles last year. And I thought you were just another whale, but I started really paying attention to you for two reasons. The first one is around late August last year, you went on Foster's channel and mentioned how you sold 40 million Omis. Is that correct?
Yeah, I did it twice.
Oh, you did twice. All right. I will ask about that in 1 minute, okay? So you sold 40 million Omis when the sentiment were really high, the price were local high. So I thought you were crazy. And now looking back, it turns out to be a genius move. So I knew that I had to get you on my channel and ask you every single thing about it. And the second reason is, I think that you are one of the rare whales who consistently share very valuable and practical knowledge and tools. For example, you talked about cherry charts. That was my first time hearing about it. And then you recently mentioned Veve Setlist, which is a very useful tool that I use in one of my recent videos. Yeah, so thank you so much for being here, Steven. And I bet many people will benefit from you.
Hopefully we can help them.
You are very popular in the Veve community, but to those who are new to Veve or to those who don't know about you, how would you describe yourself?
The same as everyone else. I've made my mistakes and I've learned from them. So the main thing is now applying all the past knowledge and just trying to minimize those mistakes moving forward. I'm lucky that I have the capital to invest more. Doesn't make me a better investor. It just means that I have more room to play with and I can take more chances. A bigger net catches more fish. That's the way to look at it, really. Everyone just has to do what they can within their means. You can't compare yourself to the whales. Otherwise, you're never going to feel like you're doing enough. Everyone's in their own little race. So we just need to do what we can.
I have a structure for our interview today, but I have to be selfish and ask my favorite question first, which is August last year, you sold 40 million Omis. You said that you sold it twice.
Yeah.
And I think the price back then were 0.008. Was that correct?
Yeah, 0.8.
Okay, 0.8. You sold 40 million Omis to get collectibles that were like a $300,000 US at that time.
Yeah.
Why?
Because the main thing people want is Omi to NFT. But why wait until that happens when if the end goal is collectibles, get them at a cheap price? Because that was before the major pumps. And when golden moments were released as well, everything had drawn back a lot. So that's a perfect entry point. The same as today. Today is the best chance you're going to get in a long time to get really good deals. Because this is when we move back up now. We've pretty much bottomed out.
Yeah.
You've got to take advantage of these opportunities. They come around every 8 months.
So what was going through your mind at that time regarding Omi? Did you think that Omi wouldn't have any utilities until 2022 or even 2023?
Yeah, the main thing is I follow a lot of people. So I saw the recession coming in, which was my main reason for getting out of crypto. I knew it was going to hit eventually. And I followed Joshua Street, who was showing me good task analysis as well, showing that Omi wasn't going to push much further without the utility they need. So I focus on collectibles pretty much because that's what people want within the app. Omi is just a back-end product. The collectibles are the heart and soul of the app.
So do you have an Omi back now? And what catalyst would make you become bullish on Omi again?
All right, so I don't have a single Omi yet because the collectibles are still at a really great discount. once those rise, I'll start moving into Omi. I'm look back right now, the more value is in the collectibles for me personally, short term.
So that was my question. So now I want to talk about the collectibles, and then we'll come back to Omi later on in our conversations. How did you get started on Veve?
Well, I was doing my research on Twitter and eventually led down a rabbit hole because I was in Affinity Chain and I was in the NFT space. And then I found Veve and then the team. I saw Alfred Khan because I knew who he was. I straight away went all in. I sold everything within a week just to go all in on Omi.
So I did some research about you. I think you created your Twitter account just for Veve, right?
Yeah, I did. I never used Twitter before crypto.
So now you have 2,000 collectibles and 1,000 comics. So that's 3,000
No,
NFTs
I got
in
more
total.
than that. More now, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, let's have
Okay.
a look. 2 seconds. Probably about 2,400 collectibles, I think, or 2,300. And then 1,500 comics.
Wow. So you are almost 4,000.
Yeah, 2
That's
seconds.
crazy.
My internet's super slow.
Okay.
But yeah, but the number is a bit irrelevant though because you get a lot of cheap collectibles in it as well. I don't know if you can see it. It might be inverted.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
How many sets do you have?
To be honest, I've been selling off my sets. I only have 99 sets now. I waste a lot of money completing all the sets. I got screwed big time.
Yeah.
Now I just sold most of my ultra rares now to stack cheap golden moments.
So, with 4,000 NFTs, if you don't mind me asking, that's a lot of capital invested.
Yeah,
where did that capital come from?
Well, my parents own a hotel and I've been working in a hotel my entire life. So most of it was my money and my parents invested some money too. So I did start off with quite a lot. I started off with £150,000 and I learned very early on after the first 7,000 deposited that you could buy secondhand gems.
Yeah.
So not only were you going from pounds to dollars, so you're getting 30% more, you can also buy a discount rate. So you're getting 30% discount and another 40% discount because it's 0.6 back then. So you're getting 70% more than anyone buying one-to-one through the app. And that's the only way you can compete right now until they fix the MTL. Because right now, the gem is not pegged to $1. So anyone playing by the rules in the app is just getting screwed.
Right.
And it's completely Veve's fault for letting it happen.
Yeah. So you said you invested £150,000 into Veve?
Yeah.
And so that's a lot of conviction. Where does that conviction come from?
I'm a gambling addict at heart, but I'm also a very smart person. I got a master's degree in computing, so I understood the technology behind it, and I can just see the future. It's so clear to me. All I need is time and developers, basically, to make it happen.
Yeah,
we'll get there eventually.
So you said that you started reading about Veve and you saw Alfred Khan.
Yeah.
Was that the sole reason for you to get into Veve?
Yeah, because he's at a retirement age and he has enough money to live a happy life. He's doing this to relive his childhood. So the idea is to bring Pokemon back to the world through digital realms, through digital medium. So that's basically why he's doing this. It's not really for the money. It's to relive his glory days.
So it sounds like Veve has sort of like a dream team, with Alfred, who has a lot of experience with licensing, and we have David and Dan as well. But it seems to everybody that they've been facing so many challenges and so many delays. What do you think about that?
Yeah, their development team is way over their head. I think that's their biggest weakness. They have world-class IP and licensing team, like by far the best I've ever seen, but they're lacking big time with developers. There's been hardly any progress since we started, to be honest. They've lost a lot of revenue by not having the web app sooner, losing all those Apple fees. It's just been a big mess, really.
Yeah. So I know that Recur, another competitor of Veve, has a lot of venture capital invested, like a lot of funds invested in them.
Yeah.
But Veve seems to be like a bootstrap business.
Yeah.
Do you think
Recur is the opposite? They got an amazing team, but a super crap product. I haven't participated in a single drop yet, but I still hold 2 passes. They're not making it happen, really. So Veve have the IP, but they don't have the technology yet behind it to support it.
Do you think that they will be able to deliver their promises like MTL and Omi
Yeah,
utilities and all those things?
yeah, without a doubt. It just depends how long it takes. I don't think Veve Race is coming anytime soon. Next year, if we're lucky. But the other stuff will come. They've ironed out most of the issues now. They just need some time to make it happen.
Yeah. So being a gigantic VV whale, have you ever had moments of doubt that
No,
maybe you just wasted money
no,
in VV?
never, like not 1 second of doubt. But it's been a lot of frustration. That's the only thing. It's just trying to be patient and let them do their thing because we all want it sooner. So, but never any doubt.
What is something that frustrates you the most about the company or the whole project?
Just the speed at which they deliver. It's so grinding and slow. I don't know what they're doing behind the scenes. They could be working on 100 things. So
Yeah.
they're doing the best they can. It is what it is. And I've learned to be a bit more patient.
Yeah.
I'm trying my best now. I'm trying better.
I feel like whenever the FRUTs are all-time high, that's when they deliver something amazing. Because I remember last November, there were a lot of, I don't remember exactly what the issues were, but people were not very happy with Veve, and then they came out with Disney. And then just last week or 2 weeks ago, we have Star Wars, when people were having doubt whether they could deliver MTL by the end of Q2, and then the price of Omi, all those kind of things. So hopefully,
it's kind of like putting a plaster on it. It keeps people distracted for a few weeks, maybe even a month. But eventually, if they don't start delivering, people are going to get pissed off again. The thing is, they said they're so close so many times, everyone's lost confidence in what they say. So no one really believes their deadlines anymore. You just kind of just have to wait for it to come.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite tweets that you have is actually one of the recent ones where you mentioned how when you get your family or friends into crypto or NFTs and things are at the very high level, like not, and things are at all-time high, and then when things are in a bear market, when we're in a bear market, things are rough, and then people say, "Oh, I told you," or whatever, whatever they say, and it's very difficult, right?
It is mentally challenging, trying to convince them this is when the best time to buy is. But mentally, when you're seeing everything in the red, you're thinking it's a scam and you've lost all your confidence. But you have to dollar cost average on the way down to recover. Otherwise, you're just praying to break even within a year's time. Otherwise, it's the only way to play this game. You have to take advantages of these FUD situations where everything's cheap, but then you need the money to do it, because a lot of people can see the potential, but they don't have the capital to do it, because it's a lot of money, to be fair. It's $1,000 for a little pixel. It's real money. It's crazy.
Yeah. For me, I got many friends into Veve, and I think it was like around last year when Disney Golden Moments came out, and a lot of them got in. A lot of them got really good collectibles like R2D2, but a lot of them left because we were having so many bots, and at the same time, the team were promising MTL for months, pretty much the whole year now. So, you know, I feel like we're in a tough spot because we know that this is a great project. We know that it has a really good foundation, amazing IPs, but we cannot do any marketing like we used to do in the past anymore because the team keep missing deadlines. So I feel like that's one of the things that is really slowing the growth of Veve.
It's really hard for me because I've lost all my credibility now. I can't go to people's posts and say, yeah, check out Veve, because then they circle back to me saying, well, I don't trust you anymore. It's my reputation as well. It's hard until they can prove that they're going to deliver on time. I can't go out and advertise anymore or get people involved.
Yeah, that's a tough question that I get all the time, because my friends who are holding collectibles and they want to cash out, they always ask me, hey, Will, you said last December that we can cash out in January of 2022, but now it's almost June, but we still don't see it. What's going on? And I
Yeah.
feel like, yeah, that is really slowing like all the organic marketing that they were having throughout 2021.
It's much worse if you deposit 5,000 gems to buy something while it's pumping, and then you want to cash out. Say you got
Yeah,
an emergency coming up. If your father passed away and you have to pay for a funeral and all your money's tied up, they say only invest what you can afford to lose, but still, it's your money and you should have access to it.
let's go back to collectibles. So you sold your 40 million Omis in August, and I think at that time the Superman were less than 1,000, and then Todd Batman were like 1.5, 1.6, if I remember correctly. So obviously you bought a lot of collectibles at a really good price, and then we had an amazing run up in January where Todd went to like 13K and Superman went to
It was around
8K.
14,000 something. I
Yeah,
honestly, I didn't expect Todd to go so high so soon, to be fair. It was a bit surprising.
yeah. Did you take profit in January?
I did. I actually bought 50 Supermen for 100 gems each. But this is one of my mistakes. I sold all my good stuff all the way through the year. I sold all my Todds and most of my Supermen to complete sets. So I sold all my good stuff to complete these crappy sets, and then they just tanked hard, and I lost all my value then. So now I'm trying to just claw my way back up.
I know that you
Yes,
had 22 Elsas and like 46 Supermans at one point, because I know you were doing a Superman giveaway even, which is
yeah,
crazy to think about
yeah.
it.
The guy didn't even say thank you.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
What? That's
yeah.
like
So,
8,000 gems right there at
yeah, I
all-time
know.
high.
Yeah, so we're not getting nice giveaways anymore.
Yeah.
He's ruined it for everybody.
So you bought 50 Supermans, but did you get a lot of money back in January?
I took profits, but I invested all the way down because I didn't expect prices to crash this hard. So I was buying all the way down rather than just buying the bottom, because you can't time the bottom. So taking profit is the hardest thing to do because we're greedy by nature. So anyone who did take profit and still holds that profit is doing really, really well. But I can guarantee you it's only 5% or less, because it's a very, very challenging thing to do psychologically.
Yeah. So my most valuable collectible on VV is my only one, Todd Batman. And I remember seeing it going all the way up to 13,000. And in hindsight, I should have sold it, right? Because
Yeah,
that would have
hindsight's
gotten me
obvious.
6 tots right now. But what did you take away from that experience of not taking profit, not taking enough profit then, and miss out on the opportunity to buy everything at a really good price right now?
Yeah, but you can't judge it though. It could just keep going up. If they delivered all their promises and we didn't have this massive FUD for 3 months, 4 months, the market wouldn't be where it is now. It could be stabilized and we can get ready for the next leg up. This was like a very rare scenario where everything that could go wrong just went wrong. So if you only have one as well, if you sell it and you get priced out and you can never buy back in, you just buy something else which is less valuable, and then you just regret it then forever. So it's a very tough balance. But hindsight's always obvious, isn't it? I could have sold Secret Rare Spider-Man for 100,000 and now it's 22,000. So it is what it is. It'll go back up. Just gotta be patient.
Yeah. So how were you able to buy and sell to get enough gems to keep going?
Okay, so now that it's summer again, I'm working full time, and everything I get, instead of saving for a house like I should be, which I promised my partner, it's all going back into Veve, because these opportunities, you can't let them buy, you can't let it pass. And when you can buy gems for 0.55 still, I know people hate on it, but it is the way the system is right now. And once MTL comes and there's gems pegged to $1, you've pretty much doubled your money anyway. So it's literally, if you're going to buy, it's now or never.
Yeah. That's what crazy about, talking to whales like you guys, because you are using your saving that you were saving for a house
Yeah.
for Veve. I talked to one of my good VV friends. His VV nickname is Dylan's Collection.
Yeah, I like Dylan. He's got a good
Yeah.
collection.
And one of the advices that he gave me was to use leverage. And that was like unheard of for me. So it's pretty amazing that you guys are willing to take that kind of risk just because how convicted you are just because of your conviction in VV. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, well, when Donald Ducks are at 200 gems, they literally cannot go much lower. Even if it goes to 400 gems, you could just take your money out. Because you can, when you're buying discounted gems, you can sell the discounted gems for 0.55 and not take that 45% loss. So you're basically getting a one-to-one peg. It's just like a win-win situation all around, basically, because you can take your money back or you get double your money when it pegs to $1.
Oh, that makes sense. So if you were to use 200 pounds, let's just say 200 USDs to buy 400 gems at 0.5, and you were to buy 2 Donald Ducks, for example, at 200 each, if it were to go down, then you would still be able to sell them, right? And then get the gems and then sell the gems for crypto because now things are still 0.5.
Yeah, everyone wants to buy gems. So if you're buying discounted gems, it's much easier to sell those discounted gems and not take that massive hit.
So when you sell the gems for USD, when you sell the gems for crypto, is that what you do?
I don't sell gems, no, but if I wanted to, you could.
But then we would get tax on that crypto, right? When you want to cash out.
Yeah, on the sale you do.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So.
But what I'm saying is 200 is literally the floor. The upside potential is 20x. The downside is 20, 40 gems. Because Donald Duck can run to 4K during the next cycle easily. If you saw the golden moments, the way everything ran to 4, 5K, Donald Duck is a much higher IP than most of those. And he's at 200 gems. It's literally like the best thing you can buy right now.
You have 157 Donald Ducks. Last I saw.
167 now. I bought 10 more.
You bought 10 more?
Yeah.
That's insane. So 2 questions related to that. Where did you get the gems to buy ducks? Did you have to sell collectibles or did you just keep adding fiat in?
So I have this rule of X now where if my comic is worth 2,000 gems and Donald Duck is 200 gems, what do I see first? My comic at 20K or Donald Duck at 2K? 2K Donald Duck is such an easy thing to get to because that's where he released at. People were buying him at 1,600, 1,800 a few months ago. So most people need that price point just to break even. So they're not going to be selling until that happens. And for a random comic to get to 20K is a big task. So I've been selling all my ultra lab bits for like 1,000 gems just to buy 5 Donald Ducks. That's 15K during the next run.
And why Donald Ducks? Why not Elsa or Iron Man, for example?
The price and the IP. The 3rd most popular animated character in the history of the world. And 200 gems. It's literally a match made in heaven. You can't get better than that. And the supply is incredibly low too, like 3%, 2%.
But the thing about these characters like Mickey Mouse and Winnie the Pooh and Donald Ducks is that they are popular and they bring a lot of revenue because they've been around for almost 100 years now. That doesn't guarantee that they will keep that popularity in later generations, like your kids' generations. So what is there like a different reason to hold on to Donald Ducks?
No, just that's just like it. People when golden moments move, it's like a rising tide lifts all boats. When Partners runs, people look for the next point of value within that set, and they advertise everything together. When golden moments are pumping, people don't think, oh yeah, I'll buy a Labbit or some random crappy decon thing. They just look for the best value within that set. And 200 gems is literally the lowest price I've ever seen for such a high IP. It's just a great opportunity.
Yeah. So beside Donald Ducks, are there any other collectibles that you think are really undervalued now?
Yeah, well, Winnie the Pooh is selling for 150 gems, which is crazy. So I bought another 20 of those.
So how many Winnie the Poohs you have right now?
95.
So you have 95. Last
Yeah.
time I saw one of your tweets, you had over 250 golden moments. That number has probably changed
Oh
now, right?
yeah, I'm on like 400 something now.
So you bought a lot during the recent dip.
Yeah, I bought loads like 60 Timon and Pumbas for 100 gems. They'll go to 2k at least. It's just might just 20x that take that money and then wait for another dip to come probably. I've learned my lesson now not to be too greedy.
So how long do you think it would take for Donald Ducks to get to 2K or anything
Five
else?
months, 5 months, 5 months or less. It depends when
Why?
they start dropping everything really.
What makes what makes you set 5 months? What is the reason for 5 months?
We need NTL first, and that's the main catalyst. And then web app will help a lot too because people can buy gems. So when you get the gems pegged to 1-to-1, there's no more discounted gems and people aren't paying Apple Store fees. Then you've got the room to run just organic growth. And then that's the main thing. Then they just need to bring out Master Collector program and just start delivering things really. And they're close to most of those.
Yeah, so I'm very excited for Cash Out as well because that's when they can really do the marketing, right? And then bring a
Yeah.
lot more people.
The thing I'm excited about Cash Out for is not to take my money out. It's just for the proof of concept that you can, because that's what people are scared of. They don't want their money stuck in this app. At least they know if they have the freedom to move, they're not scared to over leverage them, because that's why people are reserved. They don't want to tie up all their capital.
So do you think Cash Out will actually be able to bring way more people in than we expect?
I think so.
So let's talk about your mistakes. I know that one of your mistakes was well, I call it mistakes because you said it is a mistake in one of your tweets, which is you sold many of your grails like Superman and TODDs to go for the set.
Yeah.
And that turns out to be a mistake. Did you did you fully shift back to stacking grails, or
I can't
what is your
afford it.
strategy?
No, I can't afford stack grails like that anymore. That's why I'm going for the Donald Ducks and Winnie the Poohs, because they're my 20x's now. So when they pump, I'll try and take those for liquidity then and figure out what I'm doing next. But yeah, I can't stack TODDs at 3k anymore. Nah, I'm not that rich.
Back in January, I think your vault value were like in the millions. Do you remember that number?
Yeah, so it went to 1.9 million and now it's on
Wow.
400,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got wrecked, but it's my fault. It's my fault. I didn't expect it to just keep going down for so long. I thought eventually it'd stabilize, but it got smashed.
Do you think it will keep going down further?
Nah, I think we bounce off the floor here. I think we go up now.
And do you think they will be able to fully roll out MTL by the end of Q2? Because the reason why I am asking this question is even though their main priority is cash out by the end of Q2, but it's almost the end of May, and they haven't been able to get everybody on the web app yet, which is where MTL will happen. What is your expectation on that?
I don't see it happening. I see it, they'll still start it, but it won't be fully rolled out. Like even with the web app, like they said there's going to be invites every week. It's been about 3 or 4 weeks and still like 10% of the community have access. And there's no working showroom. Like the whole point of the web app was to have cheaper gems with no Apple Store fees and a big showroom which you can create cool stuff with. It's a bit shocking. That's like the biggest gripe I have for the team, to be fair. Just their developers.
Do you think that is a issue with mismanagement, or do you think that's an issue with lack of funding, like they don't have the money like Recur has?
Yeah, well, they went through a lot of rough stages. They tried random projects at the start, which blew most of their capital. So they were on the back foot then for a long time. Now that they've got a stabilized economy with regular drops, and they've hired a better team, I believe. So they're trying to catch up, and that's why they were so far behind. But yeah, the managers are way better than we are. They're 3 years ahead of the NFT curve. None of us even knew what it was, so it's easy for us to say and talk bad about them, but we wouldn't be in this opportunity without them. So we just got to be patient and just let them do what they can. Yeah.
So what are the random projects that you mentioned that really slow them down early on in the process?
Yeah, well, they blew half their capital on chasing the Ecomi wallet thing. They're trying to make,
Oh,
yeah. I don't know too much about it. I know they needed a huge capital input from one of the Omi whales, Ben, which was like $1 million, and they were supposed to start paying it back, and they didn't do it on time. So you had to get lawyers involved, which was like a heavy, costly legal battle. So that took away a lot of the development funds. But yeah, they had a rocky start, but they're stabilizing now, and we'll get there maybe by Christmas.
yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even think about that. The Omi wallet. And
They were pushing that hard. They went all in on that. I think.
yeah,
I think they blew like $2 million on it.
how did you know about that?
I'm not going to throw someone under the bus, but yeah, the information come up last year. I'm not going to say
Yeah,
who told me.
yeah. Wow, that's very interesting because I know that they started with a wallet, but the majority of us don't even think about the Omi wallet and like the capital that they have to put in order to build a product. And then the whole controversy with Ben, I think he was one of the founders, right?
Yeah, or just like a huge investor. He put up a lot of capital, and it just caused a lot of problems. I honestly don't know too much about the whole backstory. I just know like those little snippets,
Hmm.
and that's what slowed it down, because the collectibles was like a second thought, kind of like a last Hail Mary, save the company thing.
Yeah. So we talked offline on Twitter, and you mentioned that you were transitioning from Batman Black and White to Golden Moment.
Yeah,
Why?
there's no real reason. I still have a lot of black and whites. I just like the golden moments as a whole set. I honestly can't tell you why. I just feel like that's the best value for me to buy right now. I honestly have no idea why, to be honest. I just like them more personally.
Do you think that Disney will implement utilities into these collectibles?
Not for years. Like you're looking like 4 years down the line if you're lucky. They are actually developing. They're going really hard on the metaverse project. They are hiring huge teams to push it forward. So we will see it happen, but this stuff takes a long time. And luckily Disney had the funds to make it happen. So I am hopeful for the future. It's going to take a long time for the world to catch up because this technology is so new. But yeah, great things are coming. In 2 years down the line, you're going to have AR glasses. 4 years, it's going to be in every house. People are going to spend 6 hours a day working in the metaverse, playing, socializing. We're going to live in the metaverse, sadly.
Yeah.
Even shopping.
So this is what I think about Disney utilities, and so I was trying to come up with other reasons beside the IP for the Disney Golden Moments or just Disney NFTs in general to appreciate. And I feel like for the utilities, Disney have so many people to take care of, right? They have the shareholders, they have which invest a lot of money in them. They have the people who go to Disneyland. They have so many other not products, but like smaller companies like ABC or Disney Plus is another product, ESPN that they have to take care of. I don't see why they would focus too much resources into a very small group of customers like VV users. It's not like they have that much freedom to do whatever they want, like Yuga Lab did to Boy Ape, right? Do you agree?
Yeah. Yeah, the way they'll bring utility would be they're trying to merge the real world parks with VR. So you can use your NFTs in the park to tell stories. I don't know exactly how we're going to do it, but it's going to be like a merge between the real world and VR. So yeah, they need to do like airdrops, like a golden castle if you hold the set, something like that to give value to it. But they won't do it anytime soon. They don't need to because people are buying them anyway.
Yeah. So to you, the catalyst that will pump the price of Disney Golden Moments or Disney NFTs in general will be more people coming in and recognize these IPs instead of the utilities.
Yeah, yeah. Disney has some of the most hardcore fans in the world. Same as Star Wars. Disney own 50% of the world's IP, pretty much. They're huge.
Yeah. What are your other VV mistakes beside going for sets and not taking enough profit?
just buying the wrong things. I spent way too much money stacking big barders at like 2,500 starfires. I bought loads of golden dragon girls at like 1,800. It's just buying like loads of random crap. Just and the sets. That's the biggest thing. The sets will have its moment later on when Master Collector program becomes more obvious that's going to be implemented. But I reckon they're going to have a run first before the Master Collector sets. So I'm focusing on golden moments first for like liquidity, and I'll transition into sets in a few months' time because Master Collector program is like a Q3. So I'll try and time it for that pretty much.
So I saw one of your recent posts. You said that don't waste your gems completing all sets. Just stack the most important one, and you can set up for premium during the next pump and finish off your missing sets.
Yeah, so the VV set list website as well. That's the thing I use the most to try and find which value sets are the cheapest and just stack the ultra rares or whatever the value is. The issue is with VV is there's so many dynamic things and information changes on a weekly basis. You've got to be able to rotate your strategy really fast and be adaptive, because I've changed my strategy about 8 times now. Just, yeah, you got to be able to think ahead and just plan accordingly.
So with 4,000 collectibles, you don't even need an MCP strategy. You can just enjoy it,
that's
right?
That's why I'm not super diehard on sets anyway. But yeah, I was stacking a lot of comics because they said Comics and Showroom was coming 2 months ago, and then they kind of screwed us on that. So now I'm bag holding a ton of comics, which lost a lot of value. So never believe what they say and just focus on good quality IP that's discounted.
Yeah.
Donald Ducks.
So Donald Ducks. You and the other guy, Hello K.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are racing for Donald Ducks.
Yeah, he won't catch me, but
yeah,
it just makes so much sense though. Donald Duck is a huge IP, and 200 gems is insultingly cheap.
Right. So my next question is, what if you were to get started again on VV and you only have 1,000 gems?
What
would you do? You have Donald Ducks?
5 Donald Ducks. Simple. There's no need to overcomplicate it.
That's fair.
Yeah, there's no point buying random crappy things which no one's ever heard of. Golden Dragon Girl. She'll have this one moment in her history where the pump is crazy. Maybe when she lists to OpenSea and everyone's going, oh, buy artist stuff. But no one's heard of it or knows what it is. It's gold. There's a ton, like hundreds of gold stuff now. There's nothing special about it. Same with rabbits. Like no one cares about the crappy little rabbit things. I don't want to be mean to the artist, but yeah, the IP sells itself. It doesn't need to be shilled. That's the most logical sense I've gathered now from my time doing this.
Yeah, I also got burned from Golden Dragon Girl as well because I sold I had 2 TODDs and I sold one for 1,600, and then I added another 800 gems to get a 2,300 Golden Dragon Girl with the mint 990 because I'm Asian, right? So yeah. Dragons are huge in Asian countries, and you have the dragon, you have the gold, you have the 2 number 9s on the mint number. So I thought I was set. And
it was a great piece at the time. Like that was before the golden moments, so it was unique and rare. And then when the golden moments come, it lost all its credibility then as like a unique art piece. I had 15 of them. I overpaid for all of them. I got wrecked big time. Now I floored them for about 800 gems and bought 4 ducks. So that's my redemption.
Yeah, because after I sold my second TODD, I saw TODD running up to 10,000, and Golden Dragon Girl was at 1,000 during even like the January pump.
It's heartbreaking. It really is.
That was pretty wild. So you are your current strategy is obviously stacking well-known IPs, stacking Donald Ducks, right?
Yeah, and just cheap the moments, to be honest.
Yeah, and what about Omi? Let's go back to Omi. in our private chat, you mentioned that you would start looking at Omis again when land sales start to happen.
Yeah. The issue with Omi is the crypto market. The whole market is still unstable. I don't think we'll see major gains for 7 months, whereas the collectibles are in their own little ecosystem. So I think you 20x on Donald Duck's way before you 20x on Omi at this point. Omi is going to have amazing returns later down the line, maybe next year onwards. But this year is a bit uncertain. I have no idea. I'm not a financial advisor or like professional task analysis, but that's my consensus.
Do you think Omi to NFT will be implemented in 2022?
I have no idea. I doubt it. I don't think so. Maybe next year.
That would be very helpful because we'll be burning a lot of Omi from the transaction fee that both buyers and seller have to pay.
Yeah, but even those burns would be meh. We just burn like 2.5 billion. And that's a fucking lot of transactions. Sorry for swearing. That's a lot of transactions which you need to cover that type of burn. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you need two things: real solid utility and a healthy crypto market. That's the two things you need. And until the crypto market stabilizes, I don't see Omi doing crazy returns.
I know that whales usually have their own Telegram chat. Like I talked to Dylan. He mentioned that he's in like a Telegram chat with whales who own everything pretty much. Are you in such group chats? You know,
I'm more patient to that. If someone asks me a question, I'll try and reply to them, but I'm not going to sit on my phone messaging all day. I got a life and kids, so nah.
Do you talk to other Veve whales?
No.
So if you want to talk about Veve, do you just go on Twitter?
Yeah, pretty much. Just mostly you just figure it out yourself. It's pretty much self-explanatory at this stage when you do it for so long.
Yeah. The reason why I asked that question is because for me, I don't know much about IP. Well, I didn't know much about IPs. I get nervous when I'm about to make a purchase, and I want to know other people's perspectives just so that I can get more input to make my own decisions. That's why I always ask around and talk to other people.
It's definitely better to ask for more opinions.
Yeah. So I'm in a group, a Discord group. I think you're in it too, called Veve Army.
Yeah, I don't use Discord too often.
Yeah,
and then a lot of groups.
Whenever I'm about to make a purchase, I always create a poll, and then just have these guys who are much smarter than me answer that question like, should I get an FA Harley Quinn or Wonder Woman? And they will let me know. And then most of the time I would follow their decisions. But the reason why I wanted to ask is because you are at a much crazier level than I am. So I'm very curious about the conversations or the sources of knowledge that you are getting from in order for you to make that kind of decisions at a much larger scale.
Yeah, most of my decisions now are just based on that rule of X. What do I see doing better returns? Which is going to 10x first? And if the answer is the second one, I sell the first one. So say a Labbit's 1,000 gems. Do I see that Labbit at 10k, or do I see Donald Duck at 1,000 or 2,000? I'm sorry, it'd be 2,000. So Labbit at 10k or Donald Duck at 2,000. 10k Labbit is like way out of the question. So that Labbit's gone. I sold that for 1,000 gems and bought 5 ducks.
So if you were to apply that rule, let's just say that you have 2,200 gems. 3,200 gems, enough to buy a TODD. If you were to use those gems to buy Omi, then you would have 2 million Omis. Would you get the TODD or would you get Omis?
The TODD, by far, 100%.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because the reason why I asked this question is,
now
I can see Omi running up to like even 10 cent, which would make it, would it too much? 320,000 USD.
Yeah, 10 cent is massive. You need the biggest bull run in the history to achieve that. It will happen, no doubt about it, but it's not happening this year. And you'd be very lucky to happen next year.
No, I'm not saying it's going to happen this year. I'm not saying that Omi get to 10 cents will be happening this year. But the thing is that based on your rule of thumb, right? Omi at 10 cents maybe in 5-10 years.
But I'm trying to do
That,
both. If you buy the TODD first, the TODD will
uh-huh.
run before Omi runs, and then you can sell TODD at 15k, and that's pretty much like a 5x. And Omi would be lucky to do a 2 or 3x in that time. So that's my rule of thumb. I'm trying to get better returns from the collectibles, and then rotate into Omi at a better stage.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, so my point was, I don't see. So you have a really good point. The
Time
reason
frames,
why,
yeah.
yeah, the reason why I said that is because I don't see Todd at
No,
320,000 USD, but I do see Omi
yeah, me
getting
too.
up there with at 10 cents.
I agree completely.
Yeah, but that is a really, really good point that you would use the short-term gains on
Yeah,
collectibles and use it for long-term gains on Omi.
yeah. Omi will do way better returns than the collectibles long term, but the market's not healthy right now. So I'm trying to make my money on the collectibles first, and then I'll have more ammo then to attack the Omi with. I
So
could screw it up and miss my timing, but that's the most logical path for me.
when cash out is implemented, are you gonna take out maybe 10% to show your parents that, hey, this thing is real? Here, this is the cash that
No,
you no.
no, nah. It depends where the floor is. I'm not just going to take money out because I'm trying to put more money in. If stuff runs really hard, then people are going to start cashing out. But no one's going to cash out on the floor. Most people wanting to cash out have cashed out already, and they're just waiting to take their gems out. So I'm not desperate to get my money out. I want profits first, and then I might take money out later to buy my house.
When would be the right time for you to cash out?
When everyone's euphoric, when you start seeing vault valuations again, that's when I start. That's when I start thinking about it.
Yeah. Maybe you can get multiple houses instead of just one houses.
Nah, housing isn't a great investment right now. We're about to hit a recession, and the market's going to come down. But yeah, I need to get one at least. So I'm not
Yeah.
homeless.
So this is my last question on VV, and then I have some personal questions that are not VV related. Where do you see VV in the future? Maybe in the next 3 to 5 years.
World
What do you
domination.
envision?
World
Okay.
domination. A household name like Netflix. It would just be so natural to people because they're just going to evolve constantly. Once they get into a better routine with developers and they get all this just junk out the way which you've been working on for so long, that's when you'll start seeing better improvements, marketing. It should be more organic then. Because right now this is the grunt stage where everything's just so much to do. It just feels like it's never ending. But once all of that's out the way, it just make a clear path then to organic growth.
So beside being like a gift shop, what do you think VV will be beyond that?
Source of entertainment. You can have Yu-Gi-Oh battles or Pokemon battles with interactive cards on the table in front of you with Google glasses. We're super early, so you're looking like 2 or 3 years down the line for this tech, but the possibilities are crazy.
Something else that I'm very interested in is you have 359 .crypto or .nft domains.
Yeah.
So let me read to the audience the stuff that you bought. Rental properties AU, which is Australia, I guess, .crypto. Rental property New Zealand, rental properties USA, attorney office .crypto, solicitor for hire UK .crypto, VR supermarket .nft, mortgage dealers .crypto, attorney for hires USA .crypto. Why did you buy those domains?
They're really, really long-term illiquid assets. They're not going to get a return anytime soon on those because the way .crypto works is there's no renewal fees. So once you buy it, you own it forever, and then you own that domain, and no one can take away from you. So say you're a gambling website and you host like a worldwide gambling audience. No government can take your website down, and it has inherent crypto payments as well for everything. So I can bet with USDT and Bitcoin on a gambling page, and it's so new. There's nothing like that anywhere.
So if I were to buy a gambling domain from Google Domains, for example, like William Gamble or whatever.
Yeah, I got like Ace Betting and Bet King, and I got 100 betting websites. It's crazy, loads of them.
So if it were to be, so if those domain were .com, then the government can take it down, right?
Yeah. But because it's Web3, it's not, the company doesn't host it. They don't own it. I own it. So I'm in control, not a company. They can't put an order to a company saying, take this away. I don't like this website. They can't. No one owns it apart from me. It's in my wallet.
But then it's just the domain though. You would need a hosting site, right? And the government can tell the hosting site to take it down.
Yeah, but that's the whole point. It's like on the blockchain, so it's not hosted by anybody.
Sorry, I am a little bit confused. So you have the domain, which you completely own. There's nothing that anyone else can do about it.
Yeah.
But then you would need, in order to have the gambling site up, you need hosting from somewhere, maybe like Bluehost or whatever. How would you?
Yeah, so Unstoppable Domains is the portal, but they don't own it. It's really, I don't know too much about it to explain it to you in depth right now, but I just saw, all right, you're gonna have to do your own research because I can't explain it too much, but it's basically decentralized.
Yeah.
So no company controls it.
So your bet here is that you think when these companies, like when they want to go to Web3, for example, these are the keywords that will generate lots of interest, because when people are looking for attorneys, they don't look for Stephen Attorney UK. They look for attorneys for hire UK, right? And your domains will show up first.
To be honest, I wouldn't recommend buying it because they're so illiquid, and you're 5 years out minimum, 10 years maybe. The tech it's just not there right now. I just did it because I saw potential, but I didn't realize how early we were. I thought Unstoppable Domains were the next biggest thing, but it still need a lot of time. So I wouldn't even focus on that right now, to be honest. ENS has all the traffic and all the volume. So they're winning the race for now. If you want to make profit, just focus on the ENS domains for now.
So when I saw you buying these domains, the first thing that came up in my mind was Uncle Jeremy's. He has jeremy.com, which is an unbelievable domain to have, which is fucking crazy. That was what came to my mind, because maybe 10, 20 years from now, people will look back, and when they know that you have like attorney.crypto or attorney.nft or something like that, then you have a really good reputation, and these domains will be worth a lot of money.
All right, so the hosting of the Unstoppable Domains, the .crypto ones, they're basically NFTs on the Ethereum blockchain. So the Ethereum blockchain is the hosting.
Okay.
So the government can't send a cease and desist order to the blockchain, just tell you to take it down. It's there. It is what it is.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So that's why they call it unstoppable domains.
Yeah, because you can't stop it. So think of like a news company in Israel or Palestine. They can just say whatever the fuck they want. I keep swearing, I'm really sorry. They keep saying whatever they want, and no government agency can say, we don't like your content, take that down. They can just say, make me. Come and find me.
Yeah.
So they can be like on a pirate island somewhere, pumping out their content, and no one can stop them. You can have bad actors doing it as well, but that's the whole thesis behind it.
Yeah, because the Michael Saylor, I think that's his name, the guy who owns MicroStrategies. He owns Michael.com, William.com, which are really amazing domains, and then I think strategy.com as well. So that guy has all the good domains. Yeah,
if you want the good ones, you have to reserve it early and hold it and be patient.
So you have almost 360. What are your top two?
Probably just my betting ones, like Bet King, VR horse racing, VR tennis, VR golf, AR football, just loads of sporting ones and betting ones. They're my favorites.
Wow, those are really good. Because I am a big fan of Manchester United. I'm not. Do you probably follow football?
A little bit. I watched Liverpool Real Madrid game yesterday.
Yeah, and then imagine in the future when we don't have to look at. Well, I live in the US, so I obviously can't come to the game. But if I were to put on a VR headset and go to VR football or something like that and watch the game, that's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, they're gonna have VR concerts as well in the metaverse, in the VVverse.
That's amazing. So before we stop, what would be 3 advices you would give out to people who are just getting started with Veve and Ecomi to do?
Right, you gotta look at you gotta know the price history. So go to the Ecomi wiki or cherry charts and just look at the price history and understand where you're buying in. Are you buying the top, middle, or bottom? And be patient. Don't rush in. Make sure you buy strong IP, which hasn't pumped. You make sure it's close to a fair entry point. That's the biggest thing I can recommend for now. So understanding the past prices and knowing where you're buying into.
Do you have a rule of thumb where you would not buy something that is more than 10x of retail? So for example, TODD, right? Oh, well, not TODD is like an outlier, but other collectibles, do you buy? So if let's say that you miss a drop, would you buy on the secondary market if the price is already 10x the retail price?
All right. That only if it's a really, really strong historical piece. Like Darth Vader breaks all the rules because we can compare him to partner statue. Even though he has 50% more supply, partner statue ran to 50k. So I put him at 25k ballpark figure for next bull run. So that gives me my 20x pretty comfortably if I'm buying him for 1,000 or less. So yeah, Darth Vader breaks all the rules, but normally you want to just buy strong IP that's cheap. It always circles back to golden moments. Just you gotta look for the cheapest ones, the best value, because it's like easy advertising. When one goes crazy and everyone starts talking about it, everyone looks for the next point of value within that set because all the eyes just focus there, and they dominated the market cap as well. They had about 8 collectibles in the top 10 for market cap. So it's just the safest, easiest option by far. You can't really go wrong.
Yeah. Stephen, that was an amazing conversation. And I really cannot thank you enough for sharing all the knowledge and mistakes and experience with me and everybody.
Hope it helps someone.
That was amazing.
That's cool. I liked it. It was fun.
Yeah. All right. I really appreciate it. And I hope that we can have another conversation in the future.
Yeah, we'll circle back and see how well Donald Duck does in 5 months' time.
Yeah.